Hi everyone, Gerard here. We are trading the dollar versus the Swiss, and I wanted to start recording because I thought that this was a nice setup to go ahead and talk about. I am with Gene Taylor, former NFL player and a full-time Forex trader, and we were just discussing that less is better a lot of times, in life and in trading. And sometimes we have all these things on our um, charts, stochastics, right? Gene, what do you think
All
about that?
kinds of moving averages, stochastics, and trend lines, and uh, too many ascending and descending wedges that my chart was just full of garbage, basically. So I think to keep it simple, it has to be less moving parts.
hmm if we put so much junk on our charts, sometimes we turn around and one thing is pointing positive for a long, another thing is pointing for a short, and it confuses the crap out of us. At least that happens to me, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm a victim of that as well. It's too many indicators on the charts, and once they start to interfere with one another, then your confidence is shaken.
hmm
And I'm starting to realize that there's so much psychology that goes into trading that you have to be strong mentally. And I think you have the confidence based on your indicators and your knowledge and the way that the market flows just in an organic sense. And
hmm
that's one of the things that I'm picking up, from you is an organic sense of the market, which is beyond the technical indicators, which are what you use to get you in and out of trades, but it's your knowledge of the organic movements of the market is what I've been picking up on.
Let's talk about this here, and I appreciate that feedback. This is a support, right, that we talked about on the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just moved to the weekly, and then I realized that it's kind of off of, this little recording area. But this right here is a weekly that we mark together on the chart, 9657. We have the divergence here, and then we have the patterns. So we have three indicators that make some sense. I mean, it's still a downward trend, but I think the risk reward is there. It would have stopped below this falling wedge pattern. So we're just giving it some time here. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that when you're a solo trader, that's when things start to creep in, especially when you don't feel confident in your trading strategies. I think it helps to be with like-minded traders that are seeing the same things and you're doing the same thing. I think it helps build confidence so you can eventually, you know, go on and do your thing on a solo trading scale. But uh, training wheels are not bad to start.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been having a good conversation here. I don't think if we didn't start having a nice conversation that we would have even seen this because
Right.
sometimes, it passes the time in a positive way and then you see a setup and you're like, oh, look at that one. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the trade was there. Sometimes, you know how you kind of come down, retest the
Mm-hmm.
trend line that we broke. We'll see that. That's why our stop is in. In fact, now I want to go ahead and move this stop up a little bit, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's a small trade, but I'm gonna take the 96. What do I got here? I can at least move it up 10 pips. 96.50. I'll do that.
Right.
Not such a big move, but I'm gonna put this on pause so that we can take a look maybe in 10 minutes and see how this
Okay.
trade came about.
Yes. Okay.
Just all right. So I'm back here to discuss. We're probably about a half hour into this trade, and we've just really been consolidating. We're up. We're up almost 20 pips, not quite. The trade was taken because of a nice pattern. At this point, I think we're going to take out profits because we are consolidating here, and I don't really see a lot of momentum. And now we've moved into lunchtime. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this off. I'm probably only going to be getting about 16 pips, 17 pips. Uh, the falling wedge pattern was a nice pattern to trade here. You see we had that nice pop,
Yes.
and then we did that consolidation thing. Now we can come back down, and retest the support area, maybe do a double bottom and then pop, or we can fall. But I figured at this point, since we're not in the prime time of the US session, it's probably,
Right.
and we're getting this divergence now to the downside.
Right. Right. So it's prudent to take the 20 pips on a short-term scalp and be positive with that. It's nothing wrong with getting a base hit or a double,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Just stay in the game. And I think that's my mantra, that I'm going to try to go with is you don't always have to have that home run trade, that 20 pips. It puts pips in the bank account.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Um, Now, if we thought that we can get more, of course we would just adjust our stop. But at this point, I think we both agree that it's looking a little deadbeat. You know?
Right, and the market is slowing down. It's
Yeah. So at this point, maybe watch for a little retest of this support, but I'm not even going to trade anymore because of the time.
yeah,
Uh, we had a winning trade earlier on the euro dollar, that reverse head and shoulders. That was nice. So no need to be greedy. Force trades. That's
right.
negative.
So how many pips total? Because I wasn't in on the Euro USD trade, but
15,
let's
25, 35. That was 20, and then we got 15, right? Or 16, 20, 30. So 35. I mean, it adds up. 35 to 38 uh, for the U.S. session here.
that's a good day session. I
Yep.
mean, I'm telling you, I go on a lot of different sites and they're talking. I got 6 pips today, but when they do the math and they work it all out and they put all these figures in, over an accumulated time, those 6 pips, begin, they add up. But here you've blown that out of the water by 7 times. So
6 pips. I mean, the euros sometimes will have a 2, 3 pip spread, right? Depending upon your
right,
broker.
depending upon your broker, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for the average guy that's a retail person like myself that wants to get involved and has your basic Forex broker, you aren't going to be getting the same spreads as the institutions or
Mm-hmm.
somebody with a high leverage account, which they give better prices to. So
Mm-hmm.
for the average Joe, which I'm with the retail brokers, and I pay that 2 to 3 uh, pips of commission.
Mm-hmm.
So it only makes sense that for me to be on the right side and in the black is to be able to cover my commissions and then some.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I say that the method that you're teaching and the instruction, I think, is geared toward the retail trader and
Yep.
the layman. You kind of keep things very simple. Like I stated earlier, your charts are very simple and not with a lot of congestion and indicators, which just convolute everything and do more confusing than anything else. It's like a magician, with the sleight of hand tricks. There's so many things going on that you really can't see through all the hocus and pocus.
Mm-hmm. Less is simple, right? Oh, I'm sorry.
Less,
Less is better, I should say. But
less is better, and
hmm
like my coaches used to tell me, is keep it simple, stupid. You know, because
yeah,
everybody's got to be on the same page, and you can convolute things by over strategizing or over verbalizing things or just having too many indicators on the charts, which can lead to disaster.
yeah.
You know,
And the good thing is you said less, but you didn't say none because I disagree with just pure price action.
right.
So I like less, but not none. That's just me. That's my
hmm
style.
hmm
Yep.
Well, a positive trading morning, and
Oh
that
yeah.
starts my day off positive. I'm on the West Coast, so I still have the rest of the morning to go. I mean, I've worked and I've made my pips, and I can feel good about the day and go on about my day, feeling good.
And take a look, Gene. It looks like our exit was pretty good here. You see how it's coming
Yes,
down now?
right.
I guess we weren't the
And
only ones that felt that it may come down, huh?
no, and that's probably where I would probably have stayed in for too long and given my profits back to the market.
Yep. And many traders do the same. Maybe get a little greedy. I mean, we've all been there. That's why having like a support group, right? Just like we were looking
Yes,
at the pictures of dogs on the internet before, which is funny. But you know what? There's nothing funny about making extra pips. So just to kind of distract ourselves when we're in a good trade. Makes
right,
sense.
right. Well, Gerard, I say that this is off to a very positive note, and I'm extremely excited. And like I say, like I wrote you in one of the emails, I feel extremely fortunate to be able to look over your shoulder.
Well, it's my pleasure to be working and giving you some of the things that I have learned because I know that I'm also, uh, teaching someone who has been in the tiny percent of the people that make it as an NFL pro player. In my opinion, I think it's easier to become good at Forex trading than it is to do what you achieved. You may differ in opinion, but that's what kind
Yeah,
of brings us together, and it's fun. I have a good time just
right.
as much as you do.
Well, I never thought that these two worlds would merge, but hey, there's a lot of good things that I've learned in discipline so far as my athletics, and definitely with trading with you, it's definitely you have to have some discipline and a plan. So I think that the two careers do parallel, and you have to be willing to take chances.
And you just reminded me of something down the line we should do a recording of what is similar and what is not similar with people who strive and have achieved perfection like you have in the NFL. So that'll be neat. We'll do that in the future,
Okay,
definitely.
this is, and I'm glad that we're not working off of a script. You know what I mean? And I think that that speaks to the authentication of the process in which we're going through.
Good point. If it's real, if it is real, you'll get real results. I guess
You get
makes
real
sense.
real
Good, bad, or
results,
otherwise, we got to tell it the way it is.
right? And I don't want to snow anybody because I know that they've worked hard, for their money, as everybody does, and I just don't believe in taking advantage
Mm-hmm.
like that. And the internet is full of unscrupulous, sales and marketing tactics, and they're disguised behind some forex strategies, and you know, it's hard to decipher what is what.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of morphed into the kind of trader that I would like to be, and I think that we talked about it. Um, is that I don't necessarily feel comfortable with being in the market for long periods, like a day or two, because anything can happen throughout the world, or like what the Swiss banks did. I just don't feel comfortable in this climate, just being in a market that's extremely volatile for one, and can be influenced by any outside activities, so far as terrorist attacks or war, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
or the
uh,
bankruptcy like in Greece. I mean,
yep. That was a big
so
thing that was going on, and the world was coming to an end, and the euro was popping when when all that bad
right.
news was coming out. Remember that? Wow.
Yes, and the euro was popping. So I like to be a short-term scalper. I like to know that right now that I'm flat and I can go
Mm-hmm.
on my day and not be thinking about my trade and my charts. And we picked up 36 plus pips, and
Mm-hmm.
if you leverage your money right and your trades right, that could be a great morning to start your day off.
I was talking to a member the other day who lost over 20 grand following that Greek crisis down. I guess he was shorting. He probably kept
Oh
shorting the euro
no!
dollar. And I mean that's so common because if you read the news, you're gonna think that that's the
Right.
right thing to do. But oh well, if it was so easy to do that, then everybody would just read the latest bank recommendation and they'd be millionaires. But it's not the way it is. So we got to help each other and continue to do this. As traders, retail traders, and so I look forward to trading tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm Gerard Master, FX Live Day Trading. This is Gene Taylor, former n.f.l. Player, and now a full-time Forex trader. And we're going to keep you updated abreast. Every once in a while, we'll do, some audio recordings of what we've learned, good, bad, or otherwise. And I look forward to it. Alrighty? All right, so you take care, everybody, and you can check out our website if you have any questions. Take care.